What's good, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about a specific subject that I love talking about: emotions. The reason why I love talking about this is because I'm extremely close to my emotions. I can feel them to the max, but I can handle them too. And that's something that requires a lot of work through time, but it's possible. Can you imagine being able to feel emotions to an extent that most people will never ever taste, but at the same time not get overwhelmed by them? It's beautiful. So specifically, the subject for this video: what happens when you let emotions take over, meaning that you can't control them? Chaos. So I'm going to actually separate it in multiple points. I'm going to talk about what happens with your family, what happens with your friends, romantic relationships, business, and even fitness. Because fitness is getting more popular throughout the world. And yes, it affects everything. So let's start first with family. So what happens when you let your emotions take over? Well, it dismantles family. It breaks down families. Why? Because when you're not able to look at situations with an objective lens, well, what happens is that you'll let your ego take over. And because it's your family, and with family there's familiarity, what happens is it's easier for you to take them for granted. So you're going to easily brush them off. You're going to cancel them. You're going to cut them out of your life when, in fact, it was just a matter of proper communication. But when you get butthurt easily, it's easy to look the other side and be like, fuck him, I don't need him. And then years pass and then you regret. Not to say that you should keep everyone in your family, because at the end of the day, if a family member does not make you feel good, regardless of you trying to communicate with them in a grounded way, then you know what you have to do. You have to cut them off. But we're talking about situations where, deep down, you're letting your emotions take over and you're not even able to reflect on what you did wrong. Instead of just pointing fingers at them and saying that they're like this, they did that, it's like, yeah, but what about you? So that's for families. Friends. Well, you're gonna probably surround yourself with bad friends, because when you let emotions take over, you tend to attract people who also do the same, which means you're gonna be in a spiral of dramatic situations that don't even bring any value to you. The conversations even that you're gonna have with those friends have no purpose. You're gonna talk about women constantly, talk about the next buzz, the next trendy thing, when all of that stuff don't really matter, because they don't actually bring anything good to your life. Good friends, the kind of conversations that you have with good friends, it's about growth. It's what can we do to become better. Like you'll talk to a good friend about a business idea or just a project, and that good friend will support you. He'll be like, or she'll be like, I believe in you. I want you to succeed. I want you to nail this down. But when you have bad friends, you talk about stuff that are completely unnecessary and that are boring. Not to say that you can never joke around. If anything, with good friends, you'll have the best moments, the best trolls. But you too will know when to go back in line and get back to business. Relationships, well, very similar to friends. You'll attract either men or women into your life that have full of chaos, which will multiply your own chaos. And that's the thing, when you attract the wrong person in your life, you got to remember something. You are literally the average of the people in your life. So let's say you start a relationship, a romantic relationship, with someone that also cannot handle their own emotions. Well, even if you were on the right track, you're going to fall backwards eventually, one day or another. As much as you don't want to believe it, that you think, oh no one can affect me, life is gonna surprise you, my friend, because it's gonna come subtly. You won't notice it at first, and then months later, years later, you're gonna be like, oh my God, and then the damage is done already. Now let's talk about business. If you do not have emotional control, well, you're gonna take decisions with your emotions, which means you're probably gonna handle your money in a very bad way. You're gonna be very impulsive with your business decisions, which means that eventually it's gonna lead you to bankruptcy. And that's a fact. It might not happen right away, but down the line, you're gonna fumble yourself simply because you weren't able to take grounded decisions. When something intense happens, the first thing you should do is back away. Take some time to recenter yourself. Not, okay, this happened, I'm gonna make this move right away. These are usually situations where you actually fail and then you regret later, but it's too late. Now the last point, fitness. How does not controlling your emotions affect, and I'm smiling like this because we've all went through it, but it's brutal, is that you see most people when they train at the gym, they don't train with their head. They train just to let their emotions out because either breakup, bad day at work, family drama. They don't train with their heads. So what happens is they pretty much look like a little boy or a little girl throwing a tantrum. So there's no structure. You literally see that the person is just in full chaos at the gym. And the thing is, once they're done doing this, they feel good after. And guess what that does? It does a positive reinforcement that, oh, okay, when I'm pissed, I should just go to the gym and then do whatever I want recklessly, instead of having an actual plan that will actually allow you to grow and reach your goals. And eventually what will happen is something is going to snap. You're going to overdo it at the gym, and then you're going to injure yourself. And then you'll see, this is where you see some people cry at the gym out of nowhere because they injured themselves, not because it hurts, because they feel like idiots. And that's why you need emotional control. So you see all these things that lacking emotional control does, it really messes your whole life. So this is why you need to become self-conscious about how you deal with your emotions. Because if it's something you're lacking, then you need to self-reflect on that. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, don't forget to subscribe to not miss any other content, and I'll see you guys on the next video.